Typically, when we show the designs of our buildings, we use a technique called elevations. These elevations, they're just a 2D representation of your building, and it's often flat and drawn. The problem is, most people don't really understand what this looks like, and that's why we use perspectives. So another useful tip, rendering your elevations. That way you get some shadow detail and texture detail. That way it looks a little bit more realistic and your client understands what you're talking about. So this is actually really easy to do in D5. So all you have to do is hop over to any project, and what you might not know, right under the camera tool, you actually have the ability to switch to different views. So if I hit front, I'm actually in an orthographic view. That's that 2D flat view that we typically draw in. But the problem is, as you see, I'm cycling through here. I can't actually see my project because my project is surrounded by a bunch of trees. That way I can't see the horizon line, right? So I want to point out a couple tricks I use to remove all that so you could easily generate your own rendered elevations. Step one, we're going to go over here and we're going to grab our section cube. And the reason I'm grabbing the cube here is because I can easily remove all sides. So if I hit V and I scale this up, hit V again, and I'm going to move it. And let's include the pool and the driveway. Just going to scale it up some more. And you're kind of wondering, well, there's no building, right? I've removed the building. So just switch your section action to outside. And now we've removed everything except the house, right? We basically flipped it. So now when we go to camera and we hit, back or front, we actually see the house, right? So that's the whole point of that, because before we couldn't see it. So let me just toggle it on and off, and now it's hidden. So the nice thing about the section cube is it is an object, so you can actually save scenes. So if I just make a new scene, it'll remember to keep it on. It'll also remember to keep it off. So if I make a new scene and I turn this off and I save that, look at that. You could switch between them. So super powerful. So I'm going to switch back to perspective mode. I just hit P on my keyboard. There's a couple things you probably want. So if I turn on my section box again, kind of want the trees back there just so there's some sort of backdrop. And so this is where you can kind of have the debate of, do you go with the cube or do you go with the plane? The benefit of the plane is it only chops a limited area, meaning if I were to just switch this right here and then rotate it, I'm just removing the back of my model. I can still see the sides and everything. So when I go back to this view, and let me just turn off that cube, I've got the backdrop there. But if you're doing rendered elevations for every single view, you probably want to use a cube. So what you're going to have to do is just change the scaling of your cube so all that data is in there. Like here, I've got so many trees and that makes it difficult to see. So what I could do is, let me turn off my plane, turn on my cube, and now I'm going to go over here, unlink my scale, and then when I do V to scale, I can go in a different direction. It's not uniform. So here I want to be careful about how far I go because I don't want to lose the view of the front, but I do want to see what's going on in the back. So this is where you have to kind of figure out, does it make sense to use this tool or to use the plane? So now if I were to go back here, I've got a backdrop, right? So super handy. So once you have everything carved away and you save a scene, make sure you're going over here and you're hitting the correct view for your elevation. You want to tweak the lighting because this isn't calibrated and everything looks really, really bad. The issue, or the reason this is happening, is if you click your cube and you hit affected by light, this is actually going to make sure that the light is being cast. This is useful if you're like chopping into buildings and you want to like ignore some of the model detail. That's what that's for. So we're going to turn that on. The other thing we're going to do is turn on fill, and this is going to give us a nice cut line. And this is basically what signifies that something's being cut. So you can see it picked it up here, probably because I had some sort of thickness here in the landscape, but it missed it here. So this is somewhere where I'd go into Photoshop and I just add in that thick line. So once I do that and I set up all, the settings here, I go over to environment, switch to HDRI, and I like to switch to custom. And that way I've got full control over the altitude of my, my sunlight and the azimuth, which is basically the rotation. A good rule of thumb for the elevations, just to convey, some sort of depth, is you want the shadows to be coming in at about like a 30 or 45 degree angle That makes it really easy for people to understand if something's in the foreground or the background. So you can see here, like we've got this nice shading here. So we can see that this roof is lower than this area. It's the same thing here. So very easy way. Using this same technique, right? Nothing crazy. You can also generate rendered floor plans, right? So let's say you're doing a presentation and you need to rush and like you haven't finished drafting and you have a D5 model, just do this, right? You can, generate the elevations, but you can also generate the plan. So all you have to do, I'm gonna hit P again. You can go over to camera and just hit top view. And here you've got a site plan ready for use. And this is probably somewhere where you'd turn off the cube. That way everything's visible. Let me turn this off. And now you've got a full rendered site plan. But if we're talking about a traditional floor plan, all you'd have to do is grab a plane and move it down. So I'll hit P again. I'll grab this, section plane it, place it right here, and I'm just gonna move it up. And now I can do a rendered floor plan. And just make sure you've got the preview fill on. I'm gonna make this red just so you guys can see what's going on. But here, I've got a floor plan, right? If I switch back to top, that's my floor plan, right? I'm just using the middle mouse wheel to pan through. So I've got that. This is what I was talking about with the affected by light. This is basically removing the geometry above. So it's removing the roof and it's letting the light come in, right? So if I turn this off, see how it's dark and gloomy, or it's getting darker? It's because it's assuming the model is there. But if I turn this on, it's letting all the light come in. So that's why I can see like the chimney casting a shadow here, because it's just casting like the 5 feet of chimney that we see here. Really nice way to just make some beautiful drawings or rendered drawings in D5. I get the question like, oh, how can I make an axonometric? So I'll give you one more tip. I go over to camera and I crank this guy up. My focal length, I crank this to like 200 and I just zoom out. And let me turn off the section plane. And boom, there we go. I've got a little isometric here, or axonometric, depending on your perspective. But easy way to just kind of cheat, creating drafting materials. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you liked it or have any questions, please drop a comment. Happy to answer it, and see you next time.